Well, baby, you've been on my mind. I think about you all the time. Oh, I want to see your face. That don't make me wait.
Yeah, every time you do that shit to me. Every time you do that. Let me guess, your dad got a promotion and now he's... Okay, what?
I'm here. Are we drinking peanut butter whiskey?
Yeah. We're going to start off easy.
My kids are going to be here soon. So I'm going to tell them to be quiet when they get here.
Do you want me to close the door now?
No, we can edit, guys. We have editability.
Dan does not like the sound of that.
Of editing?
To take children out of the background?
Yeah.
No, you can't really do that.
Can't really edit that.
No, but meaning
You
you
don't
can...
deep fake?
Look how
Podcast?
hairy your feet are.
I'm not deep faking.
How do you have such hairy feet?
That's hot, dude.
Are we rolling?
You're like a monkey.
We are.
Look at those. Look at it's like a ring.
Cut the camera forward.
Man.
He's going to edit that. He can edit that part.
Yeah, it's amazing
He
how
can
much
edit
he
the
can
other
edit
stuff.
when he really wants to.
Um,
I love that I give your business
here.
business.
I really appreciate you.
I bring somebody here and you don't even know. God. I love our relationship.
I didn't know you were coming today.
I know.
I'll be honest.
And
That's great.
we knew. We've known.
It wasn't on the calendar. If it doesn't get in the calendar, it does not get in my brain.
But I've told Alyssa, and she said Friday. It was before that was Monday. I said, this is what's going on because we were trying to fill the time. Would you stop sexting? How does Grindr work?
You know how Grindr works.
I really don't.
You just do it, and then you just push it in. And then
Oh.
I don't know what it does.
I love that.
Do you love it pushing it in?
Well, doing that. Do that again with your finger? Yes.
I think
like
you just. I think Dan always goes this way.
that. Okay. Well, we know Dan goes the.
All right.
Well, good. So this is Dylan Springer.
One second. Let me just tell the babysitter. I'm just telling her.
tell the babysitter that's Dylan Springer?
I'll introduce you later
Oh,
Yeah.
to the
okay.
babysitter. They're our shooting
Let
podcast.
me see that bottle.
See what you've already done? He wants the bottle now. That didn't take long.
Peanut butter whiskey.
Have you never had this?
No.
It's so,
Peanut buttery.
there's a great story behind it. There's actually a really funny story.
Is there
behind
really?
it. Yep.
Is this from Key West?
No Key West. Well, there'll be a Key West story eventually, I'm sure, but no. So Brandon had this. I'm sorry. Brandon had talked about this in another
Oh,
drink or
yeah,
whatever. And I
yeah.
stopped by the liquor store and I'm talking to this really nice man. He goes, "You cannot park here." I went, "What?" Anyways. And I couldn't understand what he was saying. And I go, "No, I want whiskey, Texas whiskey." And he keeps handing me this peanut butter stuff. And I'm like, and it was cold. And I go, "Whatever." So I just bought some stuff, went over there and brought it here. And Brandon's like, "Yes, that's the stuff." So this is,
It's excellent in coffee.
yep. And there was a whole bunch of things. There's an Elvis Presley one. So
Ice
they did
cream.
banana.
Yeah, banana. Yeah, there's all kinds of fun stuff. All right, I'm ready to roll. Let's roll.
What's the AC situation?
It's on.
Okay.
It's just hot here.
It's
It's
Texas.
just real hot.
Are you not
Yes.
from Texas?
I'm from Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
God's
Oh,
country.
we'll get
It's
there.
hot there.
We will get there.
Yeah.
It is hot up there. I was just up there.
It was 107.
It is. All right. So,
What part of Oklahoma?
oh, yeah, go.
Edmond, Oklahoma City.
Edmond, Oklahoma.
Yep.
There's a golf course over there.
There is.
It's called Kickapoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great.
So one time I played Kickapoo golf course. And do you golf?
I haven't in a long time. I used to.
Yeah. So you know where Kickapoo's at though? My dad used to live right there. And he had to leave. They kept keying his car because he has license plate,
Texas.
Longhorn license
Yeah.
plate. Yeah. But it was 26 degrees and they let us play. Like they had this cold front come through. It'd been nice weather in the wintertime. My buddy and I are up there. And I hit a shot. There's this one hole with like a lake or a pond in front of it. And it was frozen over. And my ball literally bounced off the lake and I'm up onto the green and like was that far from it. It was like one of the best shots of my life.
Shaking.
Yeah, it was-
Freezing.
we had coats. We were layered up like crazy. They thought we were stupid for playing. We were stupid. This is back when I was in college. I was stupid back then.
Yeah, you went
Most
to
of us
UT.
were,
It's
yeah.
cool. All right. So, first of all, before we start the show, it's good to see you, Brian.
Good to see you, buddy.
I am so excited. If you look over my left shoulder, Dan do a tight shot. We had talked about what our future is going to be, and there's a lot of things that we're excited about at Sleeping Around the Podcast. One of the things we are extremely excited about is over my left shoulder. Dan, do we have a tight shot on it? Dan, do we have a tight shot on it?
Yes.
Oh, are we not talking again?
I don't have a mic.
Oh,
I'm not.
okay.
He
My-
said, he said
Dan
yes.
doesn't have a mic.
I nodded though.
Oh, he nodded. So he nodded for me. So Alaxo Airway Stents is going to be our brand new partner moving forward. They will be one of the official partners of Sleeping Around the Podcast. I could not be happier to partner with them. So if you see this beautiful sign over my left shoulder, Brandon,
Yeah,
That's
well,
what-
it's super exciting. It's a good sponsorship for us, and it's awesome to partner with them. And also a product that I'm going to start looking at using in our practice
Mhm.
because I got to see a demo the other day. And have you seen the airway
I've
stents?
seen. I watched the
So
video on it.
it's a nasal stent that goes up into the nostrils, flares. It does way better than Breathe Right strips. It
Yep.
does way better than nose cones.
Yep.
It actually goes back to the airway and it creates better breathing. So increased nitric oxide
Mhm.
and also better performance for athletes.
100%.
And of course, better sleep. And especially with sleep, what I care about is better compliance.
Mhm.
So when you breathe better through your nose, better compliance with CPAP, better compliance with oral appliance. So that's a good product, good for people who have struggle breathing through their nose. And we're super pumped about it.
Yeah, we are excited to partner with their team. Terry, Lenz, and E have been nothing but great. And in the future, you guys will see them on the show. The other thing is getting a good night's sleep, because we are Sleeping Around the Podcast, and we are doing our last few shows here in the studio. Dr. Brandon Hedgecock, we will officially be moving to a new studio.
We're getting a new studio.
Oh, we're getting a new studio.
I haven't heard this yet.
So on the last episode, you heard
I heard we were
Brandon,
looking at a new studio.
yeah, Brandon and
Is
I
it
were
official?
talking. It's official.
Okay.
Brandon and I were
Matthew, what
talking
would you say?
Well,
about.
hold on. You might be making this official before you heard about a budget for some kind of new equipment we might need for this new studio.
Oh no, it's official.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, and it's official.
Okay.
It's official.
Okay.
We will be partnering with AC Hotels, Austin Hill Country, and you've heard Brandon and I talk about. Just it's such an amazing hotel. Violet Sky, the bar that's associated with the hotel, has been nothing but great to us. And we are going to actually be moving our studio, and this podcast will be shooting directly from that hotel. Handsome Dan has done an amazing job of going through and kind of how we'd be able to shoot a podcast. This will have a live element to it, an audience, if you will. And I think Brandon's still trying to figure out his microphone. So we are very excited to be partnering with them.
We're gonna have an audience,
We're
So
gonna have an
people be
audience,
like watching live
Yep.
while you go.
absolutely,
like a live radio show.
like a live radio show. In the way, and I wish Dan,
gonna
I
be
want you
awkward.
on mic in a second. Dan's done an amazing job. You know how I am. I'm a control freak. And Dan met with Miss Charlotte, who will be one of our guests coming up very soon. And we're going to kind of talk about the partnership, how it came to be. But what Dan does an amazing, amazing, amazing job of is he thinks differently. He thinks outside the box. He's 10 times smarter than me. And he was able to kind of finagle it to where we're going to have it. And I think that aesthetically it's going to be awesome. I think having an audience kind of to bounce off with will be great, definitely for
Yeah.
us too. And Dan's getting his microphone because I definitely want to get your input on this, buddy. And I really appreciate all the hard work you do, brother. Yep. I really do appreciate. And in our new studio,
That's
we
fun.
probably won't be having to do this. We'll buy extra mics and all that good stuff. But so that will be our partnership that we'll do. Dan, are you hooked up? All right. Let me hear what you have to say about this. Put that camera on your pretty face too.
Testing. Okay. All right. Good. Say that again.
Well, did you put the camera on your pretty face?
I did.
Okay.
What are the
Tell us what you think about this AC stuff.
AC is beautiful. It's gigantic. It will look great on camera. I only got to test it with one angle, but with the other angles, I'm sure it'll be fine. There's lots of light, and I'm assuming there will be a lot of people walking in and out of
Yep.
shots. It's going to kind of feel like a sports center sort of like live pregame
That's kind of cool.
deal.
Yeah.
And we'll be in a hotel sleeping around. So,
Yeah.
Guys, let's don't kid ourselves. Dan does all the hard work. And Dan, I just wanted to say thank you for making time to go over there and meet with them and kind of do the aesthetics and figure all that stuff out that I know nothing about. So I just want to tell you thank you.
Is it going to be bittersweet leaving here?
It actually
This
is.
is
I
like,
think it will be.
It will. Yeah,
It's
because
been nice.
it really has. You know, we've been here for like 4 years. I mean, it
it's
seemed like
amazing.
4
I know
years.
you've
It
been
seems
doing
like
it
it.
that long. It's amazing.
Yeah.
No, actually, I know.
It's kind of nice because I can just wake up and come in.
Yeah.
And then when we're done, I can just go, to my refrigerator.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking. It seems
But-
like it would be better for you if you just woke up and had a studio.
But honestly,
You know?
I would like to have my office space back. I would, because this used to be the office.
Feel
Like,
that too.
having the extra room would be helpful.
But
too.
now you'll have
Yeah.
memories.
Yeah, we'll have memories in here. Can I keep some things?
Of course.
Okay, cool.
Of course
Yeah.
you can.
The blue
Hey,
drapes.
let's talk about Dylan.
Who's Dylan?
This young man right here.
So Dylan Springer
I'm
is
just a
our
live
guest
audience.
today.
Just a live
yeah.
audience.
So Dylan is the guy who's been asking questions about the AC Hotel and about airway stints. But no, I'm really excited about this. So we're going to get into how we met. But everybody, this is Dylan Springer. Dylan Springer, we will get into the details. It's a complex business model, but Dylan and I are partnerships through what I do with Somnomed, what he does with a company called Rest Assured, and how this triangulates is it also is going to help Brandon Hedgecock and Sleep Better Austin. And so kind of how we all work together. And so we'll get into that, speaking of sleeping around and talking about sleep. But also we're going to talk about a little history. My man here had to make a choice, had to make a decision between the UT Longhorns and the OU Sooners. And he tells this great story, and the buildup is pretty awesome. And I could tell you, in the end, like usually, OU wins. And then finally, we're going to talk just kind of future. Like, what does this future landscape look like? What Dylan deals with, and we've talked about this on the podcast a bunch, is CPAP. The dang recall happened. And instead of just pouting, shutting down, we will talk about our partnership and how Dylan has just taken this new vision, along with some other of my friends from Oklahoma, Tulsa area, and have gotten this new concept that has just taken off. So, everybody, this is Dylan Springer. Dylan, thank you for sleeping around with Dr.
Yes.
Brandon Matthew. I want to
Cheers.
cheers you. I'm gonna go across. It's totally worth it. All right.
Dylan, thanks for being here, man.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I was excited to get down here.
Well, are you from Oklahoma? Like
am.
born and raised?
Born and raised Oklahoma City. Grew up around there, live in a suburb now, Edmond.
Yep.
Love Austin though.
Yeah.
I have family down here.
Okay.
Not far from right here.
So were they here? Is that why you thought about coming to UT?
Yeah, I was at OU.
Yeah.
It's funny, actually, my first year of college
Okay.
was your story the other day, made me think of it. Well, I was at Oral Roberts University.
Well, and I talked about the Jesus because you talked about that. Well, real quick, let's give some context. He asked me to come in. And again, we'll talk about your business because this is cool. He gets these newly graduated college kids. And I say kids, these kids are bright. And there was like 160 of them applied and only 10 got in.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he goes, Allard, come in, motivate them, pump them up, be me, right? And it was awesome. And I was so impressed. So anyway, we were telling a story. And I was going to mix that in. You look like Jesus Christ. It's pretty cool. Good looking Jesus.
Yeah.
So Oral Roberts, you were doing ministry earlier. So
Mhm.
youth pastoral ministries was my major there. I only lasted a year at Oral Roberts and ended up back at OU. after
They made him cut his hair.
Yeah, they did. It was shirt and tie. So you'd have a shirt and tie. At
Oh,
every
yeah.
class.
I remember.
So me and my roommate, we took a shirt and tie and tied it on, and then we cut it from here to here
Uh-huh.
with the tie still not sitting there, and we just wore a t-shirt every day. And we told them we got a shirt and tie on.
Underneath.
That is
and
great.
And I got away with that. Yeah. So there to OU was geology, to do petroleum geology, and I had one semester left, graduate with geology, and so the plan was to come here and finish up with masters in petroleum geology at UT, and that last semester we interviewed with the big oil companies. Our whole class did in Oklahoma City, and I went, I do not want to do this. When I first started geology, I was going to be in the USGS.
Yeah.
And I was going to be in the mountains
Uh-huh.
in Colorado and just walk around the mountains doing surveys.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to do geology. Well, I got engaged, got married, and geology will pay a lot more bills than walking around the mountains.
Walking around the
Right.
mountains. Yeah.
So I thought I'll do that. And then finally I just went, I don't want to do that. I can go make money doing something else. So had a semester left of geology and decided not to do it, and did general studies, and called my brother-in-law who was in medical and said, hey, I want to ask you some questions. And
That's
I
how you
started.
got started.
I got started. the grunt. I mean, I was like the lowest you could start. You
Right.
know, running around fitting patients. I first fit patient on bone stems, so grown both stimulators. After fractures or breaks, and then. Have you ever seen a continuous passive motion machine?
Yeah, that, like after knee surgery and just
Yeah.
constantly. You know what's funny as fuck is if you're sleeping next to somebody who's using one of those like overnight while they're sleeping,
Oh yeah.
and then like you accidentally roll over and like your foot gets caught in it.
Oh, it's danger.
It's danger zone big time, Will
It's-
Robinson. It is not fucking fun.
So you, this sounds like this happened.
Oh my God. So my ex-wife got knee replacement and had this, she had
Oh,
a
young.
lot of knee, real young.
Dang.
And so she had one of those deals. And I don't remember if it was after the knee replacement or maybe one of her scopes that she had before that.
She was after knee, like they do that one for the.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway, she had that thing in the bed and it was just like in the bed.
Yeah.
And so she's got, her legs up on it and I'm just like sleeping on my side of the bed.
Mhm.
But this was, I think, before my oral appliance days, and you toss and turn a little bit, and I toss and turn a lot
Right.
before my oral appliance days, and so I don't remember how it happened. I just remember waking up in pain,
What?
like my foot was caught in it. And
Is this
it was
back
like,
in your days? You taking? Were you taking anything to go to sleep?
No, taking nothing.
You were drinking a little?
No,
A little?
maybe, but
Okay.
I mean, it was a rough marriage, so probably. but
But those things do. They just.
Yeah, I'm talking
Are
about
we talking about marriages? Oh no, the machine. Sorry.
And,
Sorry about that. Sorry
yeah,
about
so you were selling those?
Yeah, our company sold them, and I would go set them up. That was my first.
Okay.
Like, so set I was the grunt. So they would say, "Hey, we got a surgery. This patient's driving home to the middle of nowhere, Altus, Oklahoma. Head out there." So I'd drive 2.5 hours with the machine, get out there, and the patient just got home, just had surgery, and we'd stick that machine on him
Yeah.
Mhm.
and just go. Or if it was total knee, we'd go to the hospital the day, like right when they got out of surgery, go in the hospital room, and we'd put it on them. And there was a couple physicians that would say, I want him to 100 degrees
Cool.
bend
Before they can.
starting.
Wow.
And so we'd go in and we'd turn it on, and they would just scream and cuss at me and, throw stuff at me. And I just would hold it till it got to 100 and push it back down.
Oh.
And they would go. And then we had ones that did shoulders.
Yeah.
You'd sit in a machine after shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
We had finger actuated. It was pretty cool.
How much you get paid for that? Like, do you get paid
I
per-
was
per delivery?
killing It. Well, no. When I first started, it was per pickup. I'd drive all over the state and pick it up and make like $15 to pick them up. But for that was my first salary job, and I think I was killing it at like $24,000 a year or
Yeah.
something.
Remember we
Yeah.
taled about that when I
Oh,
talked to your
dude.
guys. Yeah, I thought I was
Big time.
taking-
And then they said, "You're getting a company car," and they bought us these white minivans,
Hell yeah,
and we were really rolling.
dude! I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you right now, carry a big stick in there, beat the women off. I'll tell you. So I think I asked you this the other day. 18, 19 years, huh?
Yeah. So I started doing that in 2002.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
So it's the same company. And when I pulled up, the
you
other
still
day,
work for the same company.
Yeah, our parent company, we do
Yeah.
lots of different things.
Everything.
Okay.
We'll get to that. But so let's back up a little bit.
Okay.
I think whenever we have someone on the podcast, I like to kind of say like how we met and how we came in contact. And like I set it up at the beginning, how it's going to help you, Bo. And so through a mutual friend, I got a phone call one day and they said, "Hey, the Dillon Springer's looking for you. Do you know Dillon?" And everybody just assumes I know people if they're in Oklahoma. Like
Yeah.
it's a big state. I go, I've never heard of Dillon, but and so it was our old account manager, and she's like, "Well, he's looking for you. He wants to talk to you." So I think I text you, and whoever told you about me, I warned you ahead of time. I said, "Listen, man, in this business, in this area, Brandon, I guarantee you're going to agree with this. Everybody talks.
Mhm.
Everybody promises. Everybody says they're the new thing. Everybody says what they can do. Everybody has a pitch. Everybody, and even though I've only been in the oral device, by the way." You made me say team. I'm going to teach you how to say device, an oral device. In this industry, I've only been doing it since September of 2020, but there's still those same people out there. They're like, well, we can do better and we can learn how to do insurance and learn how to do HST and this and this. So in all fairness, Dillon, when I met you, I was kind of like, let me see if this is real. So, I'm going to turn it over to you in a second. So my understanding was from a mutual friend of ours, he said, "Hey, just like what you did for me, Phillips CPAPs are on recall. The man owns Oklahoma He's going to get into Texas. Could you do what you kind of do for me? When anybody gets an HST, they come back tested. It's a 30 HR blow. We'll put them on one of your oral devices for SondaMed. I went, I think I can handle that. So we started talking, and I turned over my Rolodex to him. Dan, a Rolodex is a lot like your iPhone when you do that, but it's my contacts. And I gave him, just like I do with all the people who approach to partner with me, I say, here's my best people. Let me see what you can do, and then I'll follow up with them. And Max was one of them. And I'll tell you what, it's been, we started April 1st, no joking. That's April Fool's Day. And I told my company, I said, let me work with this guy for 30 days. Let me prove what I can do. Within a 30-day period, business had done very well. I brought him down to Dallas to AADSM, introduced him to way more people to where he ran out of voice, and I made him drink too much, but got him more contacts and then more contacts and then more contacts. And here we are today. I'm not allowed to say the date, right, Dan? But it's July 11th. And I'm going to tell you right now, this partnership has been absolutely, positively a win. So I love what you're doing. We're helping people, guys. We're helping people breathe. And for those who can't get on CPAP, we're able to put them on an oral device. Did anything I say there, do you want to add, or just, I'd love your perspective.
No, that was good. I mean, I called and people did say a lot of stuff about you.
Mm-hmm.
You proved them all wrong. You're a real good guy.
Well, let's
We'll
back up for a minute
Sure.
and just assume that our audience and
Yeah.
and me don't know anything about what you do.
No, that's why I'm setting it up
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
tee for you.
Yeah.
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 Tell us what you do.
So you heard my early days. And so I did that fun stuff. And then we had a company that does bracing orthotics. So we were doing a lot of braces. You know, we cover most of the orthopedic stuff in Oklahoma. Big surgical implants, all that kind of stuff.
Hold on real quick. I'm sorry. I did a tour the other day. They do, am I allowed to say this on camera?
I don't know what you're going to say.
Where the doctors come in on
Oh, yeah.
I can say that?
Oh, yeah.
Cadavers.
Yeah. we
Like
could do
live
lives.
bodies. Like
Yeah.
they,
Well, they're not live.
well,
They're actually dead bodies.
It's not live bodies.
You're right.
Yeah.
That would be even
you
creepy.
couldn't
Oh, well,
say
we
that.
can't
That
say
would be
live
illegal.
bodies. Yeah, they're dead.
Yeah.
They're dead bodies they work on. No, but I just thought that was freaking cool, man. So
It's
even
cool.
that's
the
how
first
it
time you're
is.
walking through the office and there's like a human torso sitting
Oh,
there.
yeah.
You know, it's different.
It's freaking
But
awesome.
yeah, we do a lot of spine, surgical instruments and stuff. So they'll come in and do some different procedures in there, practices and do things. It's really cool. So brace place, we did orthopedic stuff, and then we bought a DME company. Okay.
Why?
We just wanted to branch out.
Yeah.
We thought, okay, this group was selling. It was a hospital system that tried it and did not do well.
Okay.
So they thought, we want to divest of this. You guys want to buy it? We bought a DME company, and our biggest things were oxygen and CPAPs.
Mm-hmm.
So we started doing that.
Good old days.
That's
Woo!
right. We did a lot of bent metal and all that back then.
Yeah.
But the big stuff was O2. and
Heck
CPAPs.
yeah. Oh,
So CPAPs, I was fresh. into
When,
that
and how
world.
long ago was this?
This was 17 years ago.
Okay, so it's been a while.
Oh, and where the
Yeah.
money was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, this is right after.
Oh.
So I was grunt, and then we went in straight
Yep.
into let's buy this company and go. And so Echelon was the name of the company, and I was learning about CPAPs, and I thought I'm going to go sell them where everyone's going to have a CPAP. And so I went to all these physicians that I was tight with, and they said, "Yeah, we want to use you. Just go to the sleep lab up here. We use them, talk to them, have them do the test, and then send you the CPAP." And I said, "Okay." So we went, and I talked to the different sleep labs in the state, and a lot of them kept saying, "Well, we have a company that does the CPAP.
Uh-huh.
We have another entity, and we
Yeah.
do that." I said, "Well, this physician wants to use us." And they're like, "Okay, but we're going to do them."
Yeah.
Basically is
Yeah.
what they said, right? And so I left angry, and I called my boss, and I said, "Hey, we're going to start a sleep lab."
Oh boy.
And he said, "Well, okay, put together the details, bring me pro forma." So we did. We started one, and then about a year later, we started 3 more.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, over that period of time, we've had up to 10.
Yeah.
Throughout that time. So sleep became big for us. That lab that I had gone in and said, we're going to start one, that said, "No, we're not going to send to you." They closed down
Yeah.
a year and a half later.
Yeah.
Well,
So
a lot of sleep labs have closed down.
Yeah.
So,
this was early on.
Oh,
yeah.
And this was, you remember Graymark? Were you around when Graymark was a big?
I was.
Yeah. Yeah. And they went public, and they sold out all their physician investors. It was a bad deal. Can we say names?
You
I
say
didn't-
whatever
Yeah,
you
you can
want.
say whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did that, grew. Sleep grew fast. Loved it. I love the sleep world. I didn't even realize it, but growing up, I had my dad who died young, would always be asleep, and we'd be sitting in there watching a movie or something. He would start doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And me and my brother and sister kind of be like, what is going on? You know, and then we'd all laugh about it.
Yeah.
Dad chokes all the time when he sleeps. You know?
No, I'm telling
No,
you,
he
that
tells a
was my
similar-
grandpa.
Yeah, he tells a similar
Like
story.
we used to do that. My grandpa after dinner fall asleep on the couch, snoring. We're
Mhm.
watching TV, choking, gasping, and then he died of a heart attack at 63.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, then we were like, that's just funny. And he
But that's
wake
the same
up,
thing.
Yeah. He'd wake up and be like, what's going on? We'd be like, you stop breathing.
Right.
And then you learn like the seriousness of it and what it really is. So got into sleep, and it meant something to me. I loved it. We did well. About 3.5 years ago, my boss, Brandon, said, you know, what are we going to do? There needs to be something different. And I was like, I'm right there with you. There's a better way. Right. I mean, the ways of seeing a provider, going to see a sleep specialist, going to a sleep lab, probably coming back to a sleep lab, going back to the specialist, going to DME, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like what you have to do. The places you have to drive, they don't talk well. Like I was just talking about, you go
It's
to
an
a lab,
abyss. It's a black hole.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So there's, patients get lost in it. Providers have no idea what's going on. The cost is stupid. When you're trying to throw it all in there and at different places, the traveling stupid, the time frame stupid. If you're waiting, if you're in an office and they say you need to go get an evaluation for sleep, and it's 5 months before you get therapy, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right. So we said there's a better way. This was right before COVID. So we said, okay, we're going to build it out. We're going to make it to where it's one spot, and we're going to bring everybody you need for sleep medicine into one place, one platform. And we're going to go with it. So we built it out. The idea was we're going to go direct to consumer, do cash pay for patients. They're going to see a provider on the phone.
Mhm.
Tell them, and this was before this was happening, I mean, tell them this was out there, but no one was doing it. So we're going to see them on the phone. In that visit, they're going to get a home sleep test right to their house.
Yep.
And as soon as it's done, they're going to have another phone visit, and they're going to get their results, and then their therapy is going to be ordered, and they're going to have it that week.
Yep.
So that was the idea. We launched a direct consumer, started picking up pretty good. COVID hit the month after we launched, and it did two things for us. One was it helped us significantly because one of our biggest hurdles when we planned this out is we thought 3 to 5 years was our time frame to adhere to at-home healthcare.
Mhm.
That's how long it's going to take patients, to really get it. Well, it took about 5 weeks.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
no, they.
I mean, it just jumped them there, and we were going, praise the Lord, we were ready for this.
Yeah.
We were ready to
Yep.
go. And the way it hurt us was we were cash only.
Mhm.
And so patients, everybody in the world said, I'm going to hold on to my money a little bit right now because everything's shutting down. No one knows what's happening. So we rolled that out. We were going, and we thought, okay, what we keep getting feedback is we want to try insurance. And we know insurance.
Yep.
99% of the people out there that have insurance have no idea how insurance works
That's right.
or what it means.
Yep.
They just all say, I have insurance.
I have
Most
insurance.
of them say, I have really good insurance.
I have good insurance. It pays for it.
Yeah.
Covers
And
it.
yeah. And you go, well, you got a $6,000 deductible. And that's, that's this, but you even have a DME deductible. So if
Yeah.
you want to go get that CPAP or something else, you got a higher deductible or your copay is this. So we said, but okay, we'll do it. Pulled back all the marketing and built out the insurance platform. And so now patients can come on, put in their insurance. We run it. We say, hey, for this visit, the home sleep test follow-up visit, your insurance is going to be this as your estimated out of pocket. If you want to do that, let's do it. If you want to go cash pay, this is our price.
Yep.
And they can choose either route.
And for some, for probably a half, 2/3, the cash pay is probably a better deal for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
You guys
get
do Medicare?
we do.
Okay.
So you get all these people that go, I want to use my insurance, and you get it and you go, well, this is it. And then you get a chance to educate too on that side.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what your insurance is. This is what a copay and a deductible is. This is what your family plan is. This is what your family's met, blah, blah, blah. Here's a cash pay. You can go this route. But then we also tell them, hey, if you're going to use this down the road and your deductible plays into it. So there's an education part
Yeah.
that we get to do with
Yep.
them. That's great. I feel like it's helping on a little side note in healthcare.
Yeah. Well, and I love that, but the education part is really important because what happens is then they need therapy.
Yep.
And if your therapy is going to be a dental device and you went cash pay on your test and your telemedicine visit and all that kind of stuff, then all of a sudden you're sitting there and you're looking at like, okay, well now I'm here. Does my insurance cover it? It's like, oh yeah, but you still have this unmet deductible.
Well, and
Then they're like, oh, I should have,
well, even back up a little bit. So that model was jamming, right? And then the recall happened. And so how does it work for us, and how does it work? Great. And so I'll let Dylan explain a little bit, but I could tell you in our initial conversations, he laid out like this. And I said, well, this is where I think I could help you. And it's identifying, but I needed it to be direct to that dentist. And everybody else who talked to me and wanted to partner with me said they could do it. That's where I think he's going to be.
But hold on, was this still primarily direct to consumer?
Direct to consumer. When we went insurance, we started saying, Oklahoma, it's easy. We had a huge network.
Mm-hmm.
So we started saying, okay, let's just market it to our guys.
Mhm.
What do we want to do in other states? Because I mean, my goal was within that first year to be in
8.
Yeah. Well, actually I wanted to be in at least 15 states that first
Okay.
year. And now, I mean, I really want to be in 46 halfway through next year.
Yeah.
And I want to be everywhere. So the idea was, what's scalability? Well, hiring boots in the ground is tough in
Uh-huh.
every state
Mm-hmm.
and all that. So
From a sales and outreach standpoint.
yeah. So we still do direct to consumer, but our biggest thing that I've learned from this guy is thinking about strategic partners. Who are we working with out there?
Yeah.
How do we help each other? And that's that whole idea partly behind this platform is, like I said, bringing all the right people together.
Yeah.
So how do we work with SomnoMed to reach the right people? Itamar, we use the WatchPat.
Yeah.
In ours. So how do we get with Itamar? And how do we all go out there and change the world for sleep?
And the synergy is so amazing because even like Keith Matheny, CEO of USENT, guess who his new partner is? So it has worked well. And to the audience out there who's watched the show or who don't know, I'm not that bright. And I have some gifts. And one of the gifts is being able to put the right people in the right room at the right time. And by meeting some awesome people, I just want to be a connector of those people. And in your business, in Max, it was like a no-brainer. Ty, I'll throw names out there that have signed up with him. Stratton, this is actually working to where literally I'll have Dennis call and go, Dylan just sent me 5 new referrals direct. And the way that the system's set up, it's directly SomnoMed. It's pretty cool. And it's directly, this is how it's going to work. And it gives them business. And it's directly going to sleep, dentistry, and oral devices. And it's been, I can't thank you enough for both sides, but I think it's been neat.
Let's
Yeah,
go
ahead.
back to, I'm still very intrigued by your story. So you built out the telemedicine,
Mhm.
then you had to go back, you didn't scrap cash model, but you added insurance. So you expounded on that because there's a lot of patients who want to use their insurance. That's a huge, I see that with dentists all the time. If the dentists don't use insurance, a lot of patients, the percentage of patients that move forward with therapy is much less.
Oh yeah.
In
So-
background, Brandon works with an organization called IOS, so he deals with this. That's probably what you're talking about on a daily basis. Yeah, I'm serious. His training and coaching. I promise you. How does that come up all the time?
All the time.
Okay, that's why.
How do we work with insurance? Because
Yeah.
patients want it. Patients are saying no because of this. So it's a lot of our coaching. Now, when your guys' idea, I'm assuming though, was still that at the end of the day, because testing, the margin is not
Right.
I know what the margin is because I have a home testing company too.
Yeah.
So it's not big. So at the end of the day, CPAPs were still probably where you're thinking most of the profit will be generated.
And it still will.
CPAPs. Well,
Go ahead.
CPAPs were part of it. It was never, I never putting this together. Never did I think I want to be a CPAP.com or one of those, one of these companies where it's CPAPs and hey, we'll test you if we need to get you to the CPAP.
Got it.
That's not the point.
Yeah.
Our point really was, hey, how do we take care of patients? How do we do it right? And how do we get more patients?
Mm-hmm.
The margins are thin, but if you have a thin margin and a whole lot of patients,
I was going to say, who else has thin margins? Walmart.
Yep. That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. You get into those, that idea and you go, okay. And that's why we went, okay, we're in Oklahoma. And then that's when I got to, hey, I want to be in 46 states.
Yeah.
I want to be in all 50. There's some regulations we have to jump past and some of the others, but
Which states have the worst regulations for your business?
New York can be tough, but
Yeah.
not real tough. Some of the northeastern states make it tough on certain things that you can and can't do.
It's amazing. One of my clients said, "Can you just come out and I want to partner with you? You come run the business, and I'll just work with you." And I said, "Where do you live again?" It's California. I was like,
tough.
"Yeah, no thanks."
Yeah.
Yeah.
California's the other one.
Yeah.
Very tough.
Some states make it really hard to do business.
They do. I mean, there is such a better way for healthcare. And so many people know it and see it. We know there's lobbyists.
Yep.
That keep it the way it is in certain realms.
God bless them.
And there's people that have been doing it for a long time, and there's not enough people in healthcare that think strategically about the future and what's next.
Well, a lot of people too, the way the healthcare system has been designed, it's always been about waiting till somebody's sick before you start addressing them. And, I think there is a population of people. We were talking about going to the biohacking conference coming up here with Dave Asprey, and Tony Robbins and, Sinclair and this and
Brandon Hedgecock.
we're now interested in wellness and prevention, and dentistry has been prevention for a long time, so it's about fucking time medicine caught up to this is prevention as opposed to and the cost savings are tremendous,
Huge.
to society.
Yes.
Now I would argue that profits, like, there's still going to be sick people, like, no matter
Right.
what you do, there's still sick people, there's still people to treat. So sleep testing, home testing, telemedicine visit, send you a CPAP. What's your follow-up system like for those CPAP patients?
Yeah. So, and initially it was just because it's all we had known. Okay.
Yeah.
And so before it was just CPAP.
And then how are you handling that with Medicare too? Because Medicare has some regulations behind that where you can't really do both. I mean,
Yeah.
the same
And we
companies.
don't. Yeah. So we don't. Okay. So I'll break it down. We don't do the CPAPs. We're also a platform. So we manage certain things for other companies if they're doing CPAPs that they're sending out. So I can do the day-to-day collecting all the data and all that kind of stuff.
Perfect
And set the
example is
patient
That's
up.
what you're doing with Sonoma. It's perfect.
Yeah,
example.
yeah. So we can do that. And so our program's also a platform that people can use.
Okay.
And so it keeps all their patient information in there, all that kind of stuff. So really, and again, that's what I was saying. If we were trying to do it the way that we did it for the past 20 years in sleep, and just try to make it better, that's not what we're trying to create something all new.
Yeah.
This is something new, and this is future, and it's a different way of doing it, and it's a better way of doing it.
Amen.
And so that's the hard thing. And in any industry,
Yep.
anything you're doing, even in day-to-day life, it's hard to step back and go, okay, this is how it's done. It's not about doing it better. How do we do it differently?
So I've been a connector and a disruptor in this field. I love the fact that I have this group of men and women with me that go, let's think outside the box. My joke about the past of sleep medicine with appliances is that everybody fought for the same thing. They kept just going to dentists going, here, try ours. It fits awesome. It's prettier. It's new. And they kept going to these sleep dentists. And the idea behind what we're doing and partnering and what my company does, SomnoMed, is really go to the physicians and say, you have to use a sleep dentist. Who do you want to use? This is who we recommend. And then it originally started with just non-compliant CPAP patients. I went, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to retire early. This is going to be awesome. And then the recall happened, and my life went from 0 to crazy.
Yep.
Busy because of just the groundwork that's happening. What's great about partnering with Rest Assured, I want to make sure I'm getting the name in there, Rest Assured, is that what we provided in a very short window is changing the game. To the point where I wanted you on this podcast, obviously to meet you've met my big dogs. Now you've met all of them and my physicians, is that we're going to get the word out. In my personal opinion, I think Rest Assured is going to be the game changer that marries that sleep medicine and sleep dentistry together to treat patients with an oral device. That's my promise.
Having it all together was a big thing. So part of it wasn't when we were sitting down mapping this out. Obviously, there's part of it where you're looking at the performer, you're looking at profits, and you're going, what is this? But there was also this part of, like I talked about with my dad, and there's people out there like that. Like, we want to take care of people. And that's where good companies start and survive and last, is when it's about, hey, we're going to make money, or points to take care of people and get out there to more people. So the whole idea was, let's bring everyone together. So for a sleep program to really work, it can't be, hey, we're going to send out a home sleep test and we'll get you the order. We'll get you the results. That doesn't do much. And actually, when patients get that, it's too bad for them, because studies show that they don't know what the sleep test did.
I can tell you 90% of the patients that come in from just, they got a sleep study done by a sleep physician or another doctor that's not one of our programs, have no idea why they got a sleep test, what it says, what their diagnosis is, what that even means, what the correlations are, what the comorbidities. They have no idea, because nobody ever went over it with them.
Yeah. And some of them know, and not all of them, but some of them know, I need a CPAP or I don't. They don't even know what it is, but that was what came out of it.
Yes.
That was the point of it for so long, was to get a patient a CPAP, or
take the test, get a CPAP.
Yeah. And that's crazy. I mean, look at all that else out there. So with ours, and I was part to blame prior to. We had a DME company. We did CPAPs.
Me too.
Right?
I work for Philips. Yeah.
I read an article years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I was talking about how sleep medicine is going to shift to the dental world. And I went, that'll never happen. And then I ate my words.
Yeah.
And I am all for, it shifting as much as it can and building this bridge, because you have to have it.
Now, as your telemedicine doctors, are they set up? Are they sleep physicians? Are they nurse practitioners? Are
we
they
have both
mid-levels?
We have all. So
Okay.
we have physicians and mid-levels.
Okay. And then you have board certified. I'm assuming every state that you work in, you have a board certified sleep physician that's certified in that state.
Yep.
Or licensed in
Yep.
that state to practice.
Licensed in that state. So, so in every state we have a physician that's licensed.
Yeah.
And we have multiple ones that work with us, and then lots of incredible mid-levels.
Well, take me through the process. Let's say I'm a just average.
Just say you're a sleep dentist.
I'm an average Joe,
Oh, okay.
and or I'm a musician, and I'm watching this podcast,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I probably should get one of those sleep test things.
Yep.
www.restassured.com.
RestAssuredOnline.com.
Rest Assured Online, better don't forget that.
Yeah, I know. It makes it
RestAssuredOnline.com, and up pops what?
So it pops up a
A
screen
clown.
talking about getting tested for sleep.
Okay, and then click a button to schedule
It
an
says
appointment.
take assessment. Everything drives you to take assessment.
Take assessment.
and then a questionnaire.
Got it.
It's like 8 questions.
Yep. Yes,
Stop
I
bang.
snore.
Do you
Stop bang.
snore?
Stop
But we don't
You
need
have
to stop
some
bang or
fat.
at birth. We took our 20 years
Oh, there you go.
and the data that we had
Awesome.
and said, we think this is what, and we took these questions and we built them out with our providers.
So yours is yes bang.
Yeah, that's right. And it
Go
does
bang.
a,
Go bang.
Go
it
bang.
does a, each question's weighted differently depending on what it is. You
Okay.
know, do you have hypertension? Do you wake up with dry mouth?
Got it.
What's your BMI? So these questions you answer, and then it pops up and it gives you a score out of 100.
Okay.
And we recommend you to go on and see a provider.
Okay. So click a button.
Yep. You click a
Schedule
button
appointment with provider.
and it pops up, do you want to use insurance or cash pay? And then they can go on and do cash
Oh.
pay.
Hi, man.
Hi.
Almost.
Hello.
It's okay. It's okay. No,
15
you're good.
minutes.
Hey, y'all, come here, Megan. We're rolling, but just come say hi.
Oh, sorry.
Hi there.
Hi, guys. This is Megan Marlene, who will be our
Hello,
next
Megan.
guest. Come here. It's good to see you, girl.
I love your earrings.
Thank
Oh,
you.
we're going
know.
to talk about that.
He's so excited.
And she's an Okie.
So good to see you.
Oh, there's a fucking Oklahomians.
That's
here.
right.
No,
Oklahoma.
We're finishing up, and then you're good.
My Uber driver dropped me off at the wrong unit, so I was just like walking, carrying.
Well, hey,
myself. So
we got water and stuff.
Did you go in?
Yeah,
Did you
we're
go in?
good.
Wherever you got?
Make yourself at home.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
we're good. Everybody, that's Megan Marlene. Get a
Hi.
look, shirt in my shirt. This is Red Dirt Relief
Oh, I
Fund.
love that shirt.
Red
That's
Dirt
so
Relief
cute.
Fund. We're definitely giving back. So, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Meg.
That's what we're having for.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you
sorry,
mean?
sorry,
A
Dylan.
strange,
It's all right.
that's
a beautiful woman hasn't ever just walked into your room like this. Sorry, guys.
All right. So we're scheduling the assessment.
Yep.
Get
They
back
go
to
cash pay insurance.
Got it.
They click it. They
Dan,
they
Don't
say,
make her feel
I want to
welcome.
see the
Don't
provider.
make her feel welcome.
It
Thank you.
pops up the day and time. You have you can just click whatever time you want, whatever day. Click it, and it sends you a text and email
Okay.
with
the
your
HD.
link. You also get that hour before and 15 minutes before your visit.
Okay.
So you're not going to forget.
Yep.
You go on there, you see the provider on your phone. They walk through it like you would see a provider. In that visit, they push a button, and we have a watch path that ships within 24 hours to your house.
Okay.
You get it. You get tracking information as soon as it leaves. So you get a email and text saying this is your tracking information. You see where it is. You get it. You get an email how to use it. You take it that night. You wake up in the morning. You throw it away.
Watch Pat 1.
Watch Pat 1.
Got
It
it.
automatically uploads to our physician's box
Got it.
that morning. They read it, and when they click sign, you get a text and an email saying, schedule your appointment for follow-up.
Got it.
And you can do it that day even.
Yep.
You select time and day again. Physician, provider goes over your results with you in
Mhm.
depth. Like, this is what this means.
And the watch pat results are so patient friendly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Patients, before, if you would send them a study from anywhere,
Yeah.
especially in lab,
Yeah.
they'd go, I have no idea what any of this means.
Yeah.
Hold on, keep going, because I can't wait to see his face when you add the piece. Watch this. Keep
Yeah.
going.
So they go over the results with them. And in that visit, our provider has the buttons to push: oral appliance, CPAP. Some patients will go into a sleep lab if they have some crazy mixed
it could be.
apneas.
It might be a central.
Yeah, if you're
looking
high,
thing.
if you're having giant Stokes breathing, and if
Yeah.
you have high mixed or a
Yeah.
HI of like 120, they'll might get you in there to figure that out. So they'll send it to a lab. Or, we even have another option now that we're building a network of providers in different places that can do the Inspire or the Remedy implant.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you can go, okay, you're a candidate for this. Some patients have tried CPAP and oral appliance, and they need something. If they're bad cardiovascular patients, you need to be taking care of it.
Yeah.
If you can't handle something, find something you can handle.
Mhm.
And so we'll hook them up on the Inspire Remedy route.
Got it.
And that's what I'm talking. That's what I was talking about. For sleep medicine, you got to bring everyone.
Yep.
And
You
I
got
do-
to
so-
have ENTs.
And that's how we became really close, because that's what I started doing. I was like, man, I know someone from ResMed. I know Remedy. I know, well, now it's Zoll, obviously Joel, and I'm good friends with Itamar. I have all the F&P,
Yep.
Phillips,
Yep.
our man Casey Cobb. So I mean, it all made sense. But here's the cool part. Tell them how then when we met, how it goes direct. It's the coolest thing. QR could tell them all.
Yeah. So
This is so cool.
So that's the kind of, if a patient stumbles on online, we still get a whole lot of patients. Most of our patients still come from the medical providers or dental groups.
Got it.
So and the dentist says, hey, you need a sleep eval. They have a cool looking card with their logo on it and our logo. Patient scans the QR code and they're in it.
Got it.
They're filling out the assessment. And so then it goes through that. And then once the order is done and the provider goes over the results, they go, okay, oral appliance, click it, goes back to that dentist.
So if I have if I'm a dentist and I have a patient in my chair that I suspect needs a test, from the time they scan the QR
Yes,
code
I knew you were going to ask this.
Mhm.
This is beautiful.
to the time they're back in my office with their results, ready to take impressions for an oral device.
Yep.
What's that time frame like?
Fastest we've done is 5 days.
Okay.
So if the patient will do it,
Now that's a motivated patient.
that's a motivated patient.
So what's the percentage rate, would you say? What's the drop-off rate? Because a lot of patients go on and they click. A lot less do the assessment.
Yep.
A lot less schedule the appointment. A lot less show for the appointment. There's a drop-off still, even
Sure.
with your process.
Sure.
every
Right.
step.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We have a
We have data that I present to my CEO that the turnaround, that's after they order the appliance and it gets there. The time is freaking crazy. And we have
probably 12 days.
Yeah.
amazing
That's incredible.
statistics.
I mean,
But it goes directly back to that dentist. So there is no loss. So when a dentist refers, now tell me about the physician. This is so cool.
what am I telling about the physician?
Well, the physician that refers to you, and then the patient does that, and they still have that same option.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
options
So
are
if you
limited.
have-
it's and putting this out there to the world, it goes directly to my dentist
Yeah.
if chosen, period. And that's how we partner.
So yeah, it works great for the dental groups because it's also a marketing tool.
Yeah.
Because now you have your QR code and so you can go, say you have a group that sends a lot to you, and it's still a pain to get everything over. You can say, hey, instead of sending to a sleep lab and then getting the results and sending them to me for a study, just have your patient scan this QR code.
Yep.
And they're going to get their test done and everything. If they need oral appliance, I'll take care of it. If they need CPAP, it's taken care of. Right.
That's
And-
awesome.
And so now it's a team effort.
So any market that you're in, basically, you have whichever dentist you're going to work with in whatever area, whatever CPAP company you're going to work with in whatever area. And then you can just like coordinate that. So the provider, the medical provider, the endocrinologist that's sending you a patient, which there's still probably a whole lot of patients that aren't getting to you from the endocrinologist's office.
Right.
But the endocrinologist that sends you a patient but doesn't really want to deal with all the follow-up stuff,
Yeah.
you just can take it from there and send them where they need to go.
Exactly. I mean, some of our biggest, groups are the ones that are doing great medicine but don't have time for sleep.
Yeah.
You got cardiologists.
Most physicians.
Yeah. So cardiologists love it
Yeah.
because now, it's a pain for they're going, my MA's trying to find the specialist to get them to. They're booked out for weeks. They finally do see the specialist and go get a home sleep test or in lab, and we can't get the results back.
Yeah.
So now you get a cardiologist that goes, okay, I'm going to tell my patient they need to do this, and they scan this QR code.
Now, the only benefit I would say to our program over yours, and I'm not trying to compete with you.
Yes, you are.
because You're nationwide. I'm just in Texas. Is the fact that there's a little bit of an incentive for the physicians that we work with because they can bill for the home tests, so they make some money.
Okay.
I'm assuming there's still a lot of physicians out there that just want to take care of their patients, and they're going to say, rest assured, it's easy. They take great care of my patients. We're just going to use them. But then there's the other physicians who, like it or not, if there's nothing in it for them,
The whiff them.
they're
What's in it
probably
for
they're just not. I mean, unfortunately, that's whatever percentage it is.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them out there that just, and those are the patients I feel bad for because those are the patients that they're never getting screened.
Right.
They're never getting sent anywhere. They're never getting tested because those physicians are either there's nothing in it for them, they're not aware, they're not educated, or they're just too damn busy.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have that option too. So you can also do that with ours.
I was waiting for you to see how long you were going to let him talk.
You fucker.
So I think the moral of the story here, Brandon, is that you love me even more.
No, I like this. This is fucking
No, but I
phenomenal.
think you love
So
me.
I will tell you.
I think
that,
you
know,
love me.
you've got everything here that, and if you, of course, if you partner with the right dentist and you have
Yeah.
the right people that, you're able to kind of help out, there's no reason that you won't get additional referrals from that dentist because I can tell you, we send out a lot of sleep tests.
Yeah.
We send a lot of patients to sleep physicians. We send a lot of patients to other, whether it's West Coast Diagnostics, Blackstone, sleeptest.com,
Yeah.
all these other entities out there. And some of those companies do a great job.
Right.
And they have a good product.
Some,
But
all of them that you just named, or just some of those?
some of them,
Okay.
yeah, some better than others,
I'm just-
But what none of them do is send me patients
Thank you.
that just show up. to
So
them.
again, all I do is get the right people in the right room at the right time. A lot how this podcast
Yeah.
started, right?
Well,
We're gonna.
the big thing is
Go ahead.
we want to network. You want,
Yeah.
and that's what I was talking about. You bring the right people to the table. You bring the right dentist, the right sleep physician, or mid-level, the right, if it's ENT for Inspire or the right cardiologist for Remedy. You put them all together in one platform, and we have that we can duplicate everywhere.
We are building a network called USCNT.
Yeah.
USCNT started off as a GPO group. Currently, we have 500 ENTs around the country. The goal of the ENTs is 4,750. So my goal is SomnoMed, who is one of the original partners with USCNT, who I brought to the table, is this conglomerate group on every single state, every single city finds the sleep dentist and refers directly to them or brings them in-house. And that's the goal.
Yeah.
Now, these patients I can send back to you, I'm assuming, do you follow up with them for an
Yeah.
efficacy test?
You did ask that earlier. So yes, we will.
Okay.
Originally, when we first did CPAPs, every CPAP we put out was linked to us,
Mhm.
and it all uploaded every night into our system. Patients will get notifications. Hey, you had mask leak last night.
Mhm.
Try these 4 tips. Tighten your mask.
Yeah.
If they weren't using it, hey, your compliance is down. If you're insurance, you got to have it 70% of the month
Right.
for this time period for insurance to continue to pay for it. You're having this go on, and we'd give them texts and emails, and we want to coach them. And then we'd say, hey, schedule another appointment or call us, because our big thing was not just test, but let's take care of the patient. And
Yeah.
for those patients that can, which is few, but the ones that can make a lifestyle change and be able to come off a CPAP,
Yep.
we want to help do that too. What are the different things that we can put them with different sleep coaches, dietitians, these different things we can get to
Yep.
improve their life.
Teresa Power.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Teresa's awesome.
The Nike.
Denike, sorry.
Yeah,
Fucking
Denike.
Teresa, sorry.
Isn't it?
I
Is
just
it
call her
Nike?
TP.
Denike.
Denike.
Yeah. I thought it was Nike until I watched the episode.
It's
She was
Denike.
on here
Yeah,
and I think
yeah.
it was Denike.
Yeah.
So,
We love
so yeah,
Teresa.
we're trying to build out the whole protocol because we want to take care of the patient, not in the past where, hey, you get a CPAP or plant, you get therapy and we'll never see you again. Good luck.
Yeah.
And they flounder.
Yep.
We want to be with you all the way and take care of you. And so
Man.
that was the idea behind it.
No, that's a great idea. That's a great platform. Kudos to you. And
Thanks.
thank you.
Thank
Thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, thank you,
in the
Brad.
industry. And thank you for
I
connecting us and obviously
No.
bringing them here to the studio tonight and introducing
does
me.
it kill you to
Appreciate
like
you.
be kind?
I appreciate you.
I
It
appreciate
kills
being here.
It kills me. No,
He's a nice guy.
but I definitely want to say something real quick. We always want to end. Dan, now you heard him on these questions and dry mouth and stuff. Before we end this episode, I always like to turn it to you, brother. Do you have any questions or anything for Mr. Springer?
Do you sleep well, Dan?
Am I on? There we go. That's sorry.
In fact, I think Dan was just
Bad
asleep.
timing.
That's
You
good.
talked to me right as I was switching.
It's okay. It's
Switching
okay.
lenses.
It's okay. He actually works, so that's good.
Let's see. You asked me if I sleep well. I actually sleep very well. I sleep very well, especially update on the
Let's hear it.
on the purpose and the dream.
Yep.
Dream works like a dream. It's
Okay.
beautiful. I went like into super crazy deep REM sleep every single time I've taken it.
Yeah.
REM sleep, and I'm lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
If I
That's
take it, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Um.
So do you not take it every night?
No.
So it's like
No,
your sleep Viagra.
It's
Why don't you take it every night?
because I only have so much of it, and I want to share it with my dad and see how it works
Okay,
with him.
good idea. Good idea.
And then
yeah.
We need to get him.
I'll get you some more.
The purpose, you said you could only take about half of one.
Yes.
I ended up having to take 2 full
is
packets to
crazy.
really feel it because apparently I drink that much coffee.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, what is your BMI if I'm guessing? I mean, you're in shape,
It's like
brother.
24.
I don't know.
He's in shape.
I'm like 15% body fat right now.
No.
I'm 160.
Take off your shirt. Come here.
pounds. It's a little flabby.
No, look at you. Look good.
There's some stuff.
Dude, I
happening,
can see the
but
sick.
It's there.
It's in there.
And you take 2 of those things.
Yeah.
Dude, I would be off. It's like when Brandon used to do cocaine. It's probably how I felt.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, thank you, Dan. Thank you for everything.
So
Dylan, I said this to a class the other day. I was able to go train his new salespeople, and I meant this. And Brandon, this speaks to you, and also Handsome Dan. People always come up to me like, "Man, you have so many friends. How do you have so many friends?" And I said, "Well, it's not that I have all these friends. What I have is people in my life that I respect, and the more I respect how their business acumen is, and who they are, and how they run their businesses, and through that respect, we become friends." Obviously, with you 2 guys, that's how I feel. And I told in front of his class, that's how I feel about Dylan. I mean, I think when you walk the walk, talk the talk, and you just are a great guy. This guy has literally gone out of his way to get to Texas, to get to other places on his own dime and company dime to prove, which he didn't have to prove how we could work together has been a blessing for Somnomed. And it's been a blessing for Matthew Allard. So thank you very much. And now it's a blessing for Sleeping Around the podcast and hopefully
one,
future.
and more than that, it's a blessing for a lot of people out there that are getting
That's right.
help from
That's right.
an industry that used to just leave them helpless.
Mhm.
And so you've
Absolutely.
got something out there that's really a better way. It
Yeah.
sounds like, of doing things.
Yeah.
And I think there's 3 groups here that we want to promote you to. So restassuredonline.com.
RestAssuredOnline.com.
If you're just a person who needs a test, who snores, who doesn't sleep
Right.
well, we got an option direct to consumer.
Mhm.
If you're a dentist that's trying to help patients, treat patients, screen patients, don't have anywhere to send them, don't know where to send them, or you're sending them into the abyss, we have another option. Or if you're a physician,
Can we put your email on our stuff? Do you mind if we put your email or your company's email so dentists
Absolutely.
all over know how to get a hold of you
Absolutely.
for future states?
Yep.
Okay.
so we'll put that information in there. And thanks for sharing the information. Thanks for helping create the business and providing what you provide for people and for dentists like us.
And
Yeah.
thanks you for sleeping around,
Yeah.
brother, with Dr. Brandon
Thank you,
Matthews.
guys.
Hey, you're the
Been
man.
a pleasure.
Cheers. Boomer.
Yes.
Hook 'em.
When the sun goes down and the moon is high, we'll be chasing stars till the morning